welcome again. My name is CJ and this is a sliders review. And this is my 5th video talking about sliders. I'm here to talk to you today about the Egyptian timer. Now, the Egyptian timer was the main timer used in the second half of the 3rd season towards the end of the series. And like much of other timers, this is a fan favorite also. It's one of my favorites. It's not my actual favorite, but it's one of my favorites. And this timer was introduced in the 3rd season in the episode Slide Like an Egyptian. Hence the reason why it's called the Egyptian timer. Because in fact, it was not created by Quinn Mallory or the other sliders. It was created on that Earth by the Egyptian scientists that created this pyramid. And the timer was kind of like their escape route out of the pyramid once the pyramid was sealed off. And this timer has a really nice design to it. It's more streamlined and it resembles that of a universal remote control. It's black with 2 little knobs at the end of it to activate the portal. It has a display screen, tells you how long you're going to be on that Earth. Some nice flashy little red lights at the top that I have no idea what they're for. A number pad. Throughout the 3rd to the 5th season, the actual portal and the energy that it emits look completely different. It's because of the different seasons. In the 3rd season, when you activate the timer, a stream of blue light emanates from the timer and activates the wormhole. And this wormhole opening looks exactly the same way in the first half of the 3rd season with the original timer. And it's just this distorted circle that's all wavy and clear looking. It isn't blue like all the other ones. And the actual tunnel in which they slide through is that same one as it is in the first half of the 3rd season. When we get to the 4th season, the energy of it has changed. Instead of a stream of blue light that comes from it, now it's 2 little lightning bolts. And these lightning bolts activate a portal that's actually in the shape of a circular spiral. And it's blue and green with this white swervy lines that going around in the circle. Now the actual tunnel in which you slide into is actually pretty cool, and it's one of my favorites. It's pretty much just a giant ocean looking thing. It's bluish green with these little tiny white lines in it, and it's constantly waving in and out and folding and distorted, and it's pretty impressive looking. If you ever have a chance to check out the 4th season, buy it on DVD, because it isn't shown on free online unless you go to Amazon.com, but you have to actually pay money to watch that episode. Now, I'm not too sure on what the portal opening of the 5th season looks like, or the energy that comes from it, because, like I said in my very first video, I never actually really watched the 5th season. But I have seen a clip on which the actual tunnel looks the same exact way it does in the 4th season. In the episode Slide Like an Egyptian, the original timer from the first 2 seasons and the first half of the 3rd season, Quinn is presumably dead and the sliders aren't sure if he's alive or not. So they miss the window opportunity to slide, which causes their timer to stop working for the next 29 years. After that, they pretty much abandon that timer, and they're trapped inside of a pyramid with Scallop Beetle trying to attack them. Quinn, however, is, he's alive and well, and him and this doctor are trying to rescue the other sliders. When they're trying to find the blueprints for the pyramid, Quinn finds a timer. So after they rescue the sliders, Quinn activates the portal early, and of course they're back to again random sliding, which is actually a good thing, because why would they want to re-slide back and forth to a planet where people are hunting them for one, and it's a giant beetle that wants to eat them. So throughout the season, they're constantly using that same timer. Now, I'm not sure how many people this timer was set for, because they never explain. Also, it never actually explains the actual mass in which it can take in. But we've seen in the 4th seasons that they're able to drive Jeeps and other vehicles through the portal. So I'm saying it has a pretty big mass to it, so that's pretty good. Quickly after finding this new timer, we get into the episode, which is a 2-parter named The Exodus. And in that episode, they land on Maggie Beckett's world, and her world is about to be destroyed by 2 pulsating stars. On on that world, Dr. Jensen, which is Maggie's husband, he helps remodify the timer so that not only they can import coordinates, but they can track Dr. Jensen's timer. So now throughout the series, the sliders had the ability to go back to a planet they already been on. Also, in the third and fourth season, the sliders managed to get the new Egyptian timer stolen a number of 7 times. One of them was actually stolen by Maggie, and not a duplicate Maggie, but the real Maggie. She was actually under the influence of a symbiote. And the funniest thing is that the timer gets stolen by this little kid who's stuck in the astral plane. The other time timers gotten stolen was mostly by like Cro-Mags. Also, Quinn stated, I believe, that he said that this new timer has a spectrum radius of 200 miles. I believe he says that, but I'm not quite sure. I remember reading something about the internet about that. But I do know that Maggie, for a fact, in season 4, in the episode World Killer, says that they have a 400-mile radius. I do remember seeing that on the internet where one person said one thing and then Maggie said another. In the 5th season, I'm not sure how many miles they have on that one. Just like I said, I never watched the 5th season. Towards the end of the 3rd season, on the very last episode, entitled This Slide of Paradise, after fighting off these mutant human hybrid people, the timer was damaged in the fight. At the beginning of the 4th season, on the first episode titled Genesis, we find out that after sliding for 3 months in 10 different worlds, that Quinn has been trying to fix the timer so that they can follow the photon trail back to Earth Prime and meet up with the other 2 sliders. Now, still with the Egyptian timer, and in the 4th season, we start to see that, I guess, all the tinkering that Quinn has done to it, since it's not his design, that is causing certain distortions within the tunnel. And this is resulting in the sliders sliding on the same Earth but different locations, which of course we saw happen in the very first season. There are at least 3 different episodes in which the sliders are all separated from each other. In the episode entitled Roads Taken, we see again that there is some kind of foreign matter emanating within the tunnel, and it separates Rembrandt and Colin Mallory from Maggie and Quinn. Quinn and Maggie later slide about a minute later, and since the road was so bumpy with all the foreign matter within the tunnel, it creates kind of like this bubble universe within Quinn and Maggie's mind. And this is the only time we ever see anything like that happen. Personally, in my idea, it was a really stupid episode. The idea in which the Earth they land on is under attack and in the midst of a war, that part was cool. The whole bubble part where Quinn and Maggie live out their lives from like teenagers to like old people and have like a kid, that part is just really stupid and boring, and that's the part I really hate about the episode. But that's the Egyptian timer. The next timer I'm going to be talking about in the next video is going to be Rickman's timer. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.